Tell me, who do you think contributes more?
They're not building bridges, A. and number
the Somalians who can't read are building bridges. California processed 10.2 million online voter registration forms. Online forms for voter registration do not require proof of citizenship. Okay, so 10.2 million people, which could have been dead people, people made up, illegals, because obviously if you can get an ID if you're illegal, which you can, then you can obviously, if you don't need an ID, then you can just vote. 10.2 million seems like a lot.
It does, especially since we found out, like, just last year that there was a dog that voted in 2 elections. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was in San Diego County.
What was his name? Like,
oh my gosh,
Shiloh Wilson?
I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, there was a dog that was found to vote in 2 elections.
Well, I was told by Democrats there's no fraud.
Yeah, I've been told many times. I've been screamed at, actually, that there is no voter fraud.
No voter fraud and everything's fine. You know what's funny? So this guy has been pretty much matching all the registration that has popped up with the amount of votes that they won. So pretty much every single Democrat state registered, like, say, 1 million new voters, and the Democrats won by 1 million new voters. So I've been watching him because I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's almost kind of like they rigged the whole thing, which is what we said, which is why January 6th happened. And I support January 6th and everyone involved except for the feds and the Democrats and the people that shot the Republican. But I'm just like, that is why, because we figured out the government stole our election. And if you no longer have free and fair elections, you don't have a government and you don't have a country. That's why January 6th was 100% justified. And I'm sorry, there should be violence for people that fucking steal elections and fucking take over our country.
It was also, I mean,
and
let's
there was
be
no
real.
Violence. Really should have been.
Exactly. Well, I'm pretty sure you and I actually covered it on the show together, watching the guy literally break into, like, the very Fed-looking guy break into the Capitol and initially did that and then blamed it on some other innocent bystander.
Blamed it on us.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, there's still Democrats that are comparing January 6th to 9/11 because I saw it on TikTok last night and I'm like, first of all, those 2 things have literally nothing in common. But yeah, back in the day when the governments used to literally f us over the way they do every single day now and no one does anything, we used to literally storm in there and cut their fucking heads off.
Yep.
And that administration deserved absolutely nothing less than that. So sorry. If it was up to me, I would go in like a fucking Viking.
Well, but it's always so funny to me that anytime there's any sort of right-wing protest or something, they're like, well, January 6th. January 6th is so bad.
What about BLM?
I'm like, yeah, exactly. What about BLM? What about Antifa? What about Occupy Wall Street? What about, like, these dozens and dozens of examples and, like, hundreds, if not thousands of people killed, injured in all of these really, really violent protests. And the one thing that they have is January 6th. Like, that's kind of pathetic,
What
honestly.
about the everyday violence? What about every weekend in Chicago, Black people are shooting each other at, like, an astronomical rate?
Let's be real. Like,
or stabbings
here.
in LA or stabbings on the train. Or how come, you'll never hear the people talk about, like, the white girls getting stabbed in the throat.
People being lit on fire on the train
Multiple
systems.
women. Multiple innocent women being lit on fire. But it's because they can't criticize anyone of color.
Of course,
We have a TikToker saying she doesn't care about illegal immigrations. Oh, well, this bitch.
I don't give a fuck if they're here illegally. I don't give 2 shits and I don't care. And I also don't care if my tax dollars go to them because the government spends my tax dollars on far dumber shit all the fucking time. What percentage of my tax dollars did Donald Trump send to Argentina this year? What percentage of my tax dollars does the military spend on dumbass government contracts that we don't even need every single year? And everyone's always like, oh, well, they're taking our jobs. Okay, well, I wasn't gonna do that fucking job. You weren't gonna do that fucking job. At least they're working and contributing to society. We have American citizens who do nothing but sit on Facebook and post conspiracy theories all day. Do you think the people who are fixing roads and building bridges are contributing more to society, or the people on Facebook doing absolutely nothing but spreading misinformation? Tell me, who do you think contributes more?
They're not building bridges, A. and number
the Somalians who can't read are building bridges.
And number 2, I can't tell you how many of the construction workers I saw on, or construction company owners that I saw on TikTok and Instagram being like, thank God. Because guess what? When they come here, they deplete the quality, they deplete the amount that I'm able to get paid for my work, because I actually provide quality results, and these illegals come in here and they work for pennies on the dollar. And guess what? They don't buy nice materials. They don't do a good job. They don't
Oh, we
go
know.
through all the exactly. Like we've all seen it. I think we've all kind of had some sort of experience with that.
Yeah.
And these actual American-owned construction companies are now able to benefit because they provide quality work, and they're not getting their wages stolen by these illegal immigrants that are working for slave wages.
Yeah. Which is so funny because I like how she goes, I'm not going to do the job. You're not going to do the job.
What about the, I think 8 million working-age men that do not have any sort of disability that are inhibiting them from being employed, that are unemployed in this country? I'm pretty sure a lot of them would actually do those jobs.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure poor people would take the jobs. And also the whole point, which is funny, they never admit that. They never know that they're admitting that they just like slave labor and it benefits them. But it is funny because illegals do absolute dog shit work. I mean, it's the worst work, and you usually have to redo it multiple times. And I know because I've watched it happen, and I've watched it myself. But it's so funny. It's like, oh, I don't care where my money goes, and I'm like, it's funny to be like at such a point of privilege, but to not acknowledge you're like, I don't even care where the money goes because I'm not in that position. I'm not going to do that job because I don't have to and I don't want to. And I'm like, yeah, but if you were born poor in the middle of nowhere, you would want that job, and it would suck that job is paying nothing because there's people that are coming here illegally that are down to pay nothing. And yeah, I go, do you think the architects designing bridges are illegals that can't speak English?
Yeah, right.
No, they're the ones driving tractors that are crashing it and killing Americans. But it's so funny. This chick does political. She's just like always the worst opinion now because she's like the new left wing mouthpiece because she's like sassy and has like horrible opinions. But it's funny because it's like, dude, you're in like wearing diamonds in fucking Lululemon.
I know. I was gonna
it's
say
always
that's
the most
nice,
like privileged ones.
That's a nice looking place.
Yeah.
And whatever. I don't know. I mean, she seems too attractive to be able to make it as like a Democrat influencer, to be honest with you.
Fair.
But
yeah, she's not Olivia Juliana or Julian, the fat one. I don't know. Olivia, no, I was going to say Olivia.
She does have some aspect of the DEI being female and Asian, but no.
Yeah, but I was like, you don't look like you're coming from like a hard place where like you would understand.
Yeah.
She's got to watch some like Western movies and get some perspective.
Right. I'm not gonna make any assumptions, but she doesn't really look like the I worked my way out of the slums, pulled myself up from my bootstraps type of.
No, you can tell because she's coming from a cunty privileged place where she's like, I don't give a fuck. My dollars go to worse things. It's crazy to be like, I don't care where my money goes. That's how you already know alone. I'm like, I don't really care about your opinion because it's not coming from a place of you worked hard and you're paying taxes and you're seeing all of it go.
Yeah, I'm like, how about I actually care about every single dollar spent on any sort of mismanagement, fraud, waste,
wars we don't agree with. We care about all of it.
Exactly. Yeah. I care where every single penny of our tax dollars go.